What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology wise. And Tiff with Tech, I love her videos sometimes, and she gets to interview some amazing people. I did a review on when she interviewed Mark Zuckerberg before at a Meta event when they gave out all their new products and announced Orion and glasses and a whole bunch of other stuff. And during CES, she got to sit with Jensen Huang. So I wanted to talk about a specific portion of this video, and that's when they talk about robots and things like that, because I kind of want to get his take on it. During CS, they kind of went over it a bit, and he's helping a bunch of people go into it. So I want to get more in-depth details about it and dive further into that. Without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right into this.
The world needs robots. And one of the reasons for that model of the world needs robots. And one of the reasons for that is we just don't have enough workers. You know, there's a aging population and a changing in preference of the type of work that people want to do, and the birth rate is declining, and the world needs more workers. And so the timing is really relatively imperative that we have robotic systems. The technology of building general humanoid robots, which is going to be the most useful, of course, because we build the world around ourselves. That technology is incredibly hard to do. But for the very first time, with transformers and these large language models and the breakthroughs that we're seeing with foundation models, we finally have the technology necessary, we think, to be able to make a real contribution in this area. There are several things that we have to bring together. First, the robot has to understand us, and the breakthroughs in ChatGPT, for example, has really made that possible. But what's missing is that we now need a AI that understands the physical world. It has to understand the dynamics of the physical world, like gravity, inertia, friction, and it has to understand spatial relationships and geometric relationships, and and common sense things like object permanence and things like that. And so we went off to create essentially the ChatGPT, or the llama of world models, and it's called World Foundation Model, just like a language foundation model. This is a foundation model that understands worlds. And so
I want to stop there because I wanted to get over to the whole robotics part and kind of end at the point to where he's already been working on. And as we know, because we've covered this several different times on the channel, with him building that virtual world to help robotics understand the physical world and everything, and that playground that they have. Amazon uses that for their robotic stuff in every way possible. We knew this was coming, and we see a bunch of companies heavily investing into something like this. Now, the reason why I wanted to interact in this particularly is because, one, he's going to be the leading person in all of the companies helping to develop this new shift in the world. It's just what's going to happen. No, there's nobody else really on that level to compete with him fully, because he is helping out a vast majority of what we've seen, and I love it. It's great. But we're talking about the need of robotics. A lot of people are scared and they're worried about it, but are we to blame for this? That's a question that I kind of want to throw out, because he said the birth rate's declining, and that's one reason. We need more workers and stuff, yada yada. I get it. We need more people to do these more complex tasks way quicker, or even simple tasks more efficiently and stuff, because there's more of us on the planet at the end of the day. And people want to get work done at the end of the day. A lot of people have different companies. They want to get different jobs done, especially if it's physical labor. You can have a robot in physical labor. It's in top for years and years and years, versus somebody who can hurt their back and stuff. It's a lot cheaper for liability wise and stuff like that. Maybe maintenance wise for robots, it may not be as cheap. I wish he kind of went into the detail of the workforce, but maybe he doesn't fully understand how these people are going to be using them fully, because he's not a company that's actually using robotics in that stance. Maybe Amazon is somebody who is more fit to speak on that knowledge, but he's talking about how robotics can enjoy in our physical, like they need to understand our physical realm and to be able to coexist with us, which is very important and big, especially getting AI models to be very restricted and understand that is extremely important. And that's why they're working on it at the end of the day. And it's working really well for them. The second part is people don't want to do certain jobs. In a world where everybody wants to be a TikTok star, you would see he's probably right about that too. I would probably say he's probably right about that. A lot of people don't want to do certain jobs, especially certain jobs their whole life. There's it's tough because then if you eliminate a lot of people's jobs, and I'm gonna cover a video later on this channel about somebody whose job did get eliminated by AI itself, but there's certain jobs that we're gonna have to be able to create a more qualified workforce in general to do other positions and other work. And that's just how life is going to have to go, because when it comes to tasks where you don't need to be as qualified and stuff, they're going to find ways to replace it. We've talked about this coming for years, and they see it. It came out of his mouth. The main person in the world who is helping to get these robotics up, get them in these factories, these warehouses, and do all these other jobs that are out there, he said it out of his mouth. Between birth rate and people not wanting to do the jobs, and it's tough. It's tough, and I think it's 100% going to happen. It's already happening, and it's just going to get crazier and crazier as time goes on, because, I mean, that's just at the point that where we're at this point. But I wonder what you guys think. I wish I could do this stuff live so I could have somebody to speak to back and forth on these topics a little bit further, but that is 100% what's going on, and I'm curious about what you guys think. Do you guys think that if there's any other reasons why they would be investing in robotics besides birth rate decline and people not wanting to do jobs? And how do you guys feel about it? And another thing is, I want to know if anybody watching this video, if your job is affected by AI or the potential of a robotic person, a humanoid robot instead. But there you go. They're figuring out all the complications with it right now. The video, I wish I didn't watch this interview fully, but one thing that I do want to know about this, is if you can, actually there's another section on training robots that we can dive into real quick, but one other thing I want to think about is, I lost my train of thought. It was probably going to be about if your job will be heavily impacted into it, and how you might feel about a robot taking your job or your place or anything like that, because I found another section of this video of how they're training the robot. So we're going to go into how they're training it real quick, and then we'll wrap this up.
I love that. And when it comes to teaching robotics, I know there were some announcements made around Isaac Groot as well, especially around virtual reality training. Where do you see the future of that, or the possibilities of that opening up for us?
Well, the first part of training an AI is you have to give them foundation knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, common sense knowledge. The second part is you have to fine tune them in skills. You have to teach them things. And the way you teach a general robotics is kind of like the way you teach a person. You show it to them. And so you use human demonstration and you show them this is the way you pick up a glass. But every time the glass is a little bit different, it's positioned a little different, the height's a little different, and the shape's a little different. And yet it's basically picking up a glass of water. And so using Isaac Groot, we could do a few human demonstrations, and then using AI, using Cosmos and Omniverse to generate a whole bunch of future versions of it. And so then we generate a whole bunch of versions of different sizes and different locations and placements, and we give all of that training data, like imitation data, to the robot to learn from. And so now it learned a whole bunch of generalized versions of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it feels like there's endless amount.
And that's what I was talking about there, the Omniverse, and how they're able to get a bunch of the different tasks done, and they can do it repetitively. The thing about this in AI and training robotics is you only have to train it once. think of that when it comes to efficiency and everything. You only have to train it once on a particular thing. You show it and how to do it. They live in this omniverse and they're getting trained mentally and all of that. If you want to call AI some type of mental figure, and that's what's going to be inside of these robotics, you have to train it once. And it can train way faster speeds than humans can. And after you do that, you can then spread that out for every single robot out there that's built to help the workforce. I just wanted to throw that thought out there too. That's amazing. It's crazy, the world that we're getting into. I never thought we would get to this. Actually, I always used to watch iRobot growing back, so I always thought we would get here one day. I didn't know exactly how it would look like, but hopefully iRobot doesn't come to real life. That's my biggest concern. I don't want to turn into Will Smith out here for sure. But without further ado, hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you guys think in the comments and how you feel about all of this going on, how this world is changing, and how long you think it's going to take until a robot takes your job, possibly. Unfortunately, it sucks for some people, I know, but we're going to have to learn how to grow and develop and change and shift as time goes on. And peace. See you guys next time. If you want to watch more videos like this, it'll be popping up right about now. Thanks.